Saraswati Devi Gauravani Chaline. Never Sisha Sunyavadi Pushtatara Satanine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadha Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Just before we begin, Lutya, mother, where are you tuning in from?
Hare Krishna, I'm from Ukraine.
Ukraine, Hare Krishna. Nice that you're joining us. You're first there every Monday or Tuesday. Your name is there, waiting to come in. So you're tuning from Ukraine. Wonderful to have you with us as a regular. Thank you. Okay, Hare Krishna. So let me share the Bhagavad Gita. You have it there, no doubt, some of you, but let's share it here. And have I forgot anything? I was going to announce something. No, that was it. Hare Krishna. Exciting to have someone from Ukraine with us. Hare Krishna. Dhananjaya, you're based in the UK, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm in London only.
You're still here. And Manomohini.
Prabhuji, I'm in Crawley near Gatwick Airport, yes.
Yeah, I know where you are. You're based in Crawley, down in the south.
That's right, yes.
Good to know. We have some more people coming in. Excuse us, but let them in before we begin. We had a couple of new registers today. Whether they're going to join us, I don't know. Hare Krishna Sluk. Sandeep Uttam Chandani, welcome. Can I ask you where you're tuning in from? Sandeep? Perhaps you can't hear. Or if you're speaking, Sandeep, you need to unmute. Okay. You're tuning in from somewhere. Sounds like India, but perhaps not. Hare Krishna. Okay, Mother Chandravali, you're tuning in from?
From here.
From here. From here, Hare Krishna. If you didn't know Mother Chandravali, she's this is her group, but this study of Bhagavad Gita was mainly it was done with her group. So it's a mentee group, and we used to do it regular, and then we opened it up, and we're happy to have other people joining. So she's the leader of that Sangha group, that mentee Sangha. That's Mother Chandravali. And Sandeep, Hare Krishna. Where are you tuning in from, Sandeep?
Hare Krishna. This is my first time here, so I'm a bit nervous. I'm tuning in from Huddersfield, but I visited London recently when I heard of the group.
Okay, great. Thank you. I think I saw you on the register, and I just recently approved that. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And finally got time. I mean, I was approved, I think, a month back or something, but so busy with holidays and stuff. So finally today. Yeah.
No problem. There's no pressure on you. As you can join, you can. You know, if you can't, we understand. It's no problem. It's just open for you every Tuesday and Wednesday.
Thank you.
And just for your interest, devotees, we have 178 people registered. Quite interesting. Of course, we do not get 178 people come. Otherwise, it would be quite difficult to manage. But still, some people come and we take part. Okay, without further ado, so the usual, what we have, we ask for volunteers to read the verse, the Sanskrit if you can, and the translation and the purport. And then we just open up for discussion, questions. You can either unmute and ask a question, or you can put it in the chat. You can also do that as well, whatever is easiest for you. But we try and encourage discussion and questions upon the discussion like that. Okay, so as I said once before, without further ado, did I say prayers to Prabhupada? No, I didn't.
No.
Namo Om Vishnu Vadaya Krishna Vastaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamti Naman Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pachaline Nivasisha Sunyavadi Pashtatara Sataline Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shiva Sari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Okay, Hare Krishna. Let's have someone who would like to read this last verse of chapter 5.
I can read this one.
Yes, go ahead. It's a well-known verse, as I said in the beginning.
That's why. That's the only reason why.
Prabhupada used this verse a lot in his preaching. Yeah, carry on.
Text 29. Bhoktaram, sorry.
Carry on.
Bhoktaram yagna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram shritam sarva bhutanam gyatva santim richiti. Translation. A person in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attain peace from the pangs of material miseries. Purport. The conditioned soul within the clutches of illusory energy are all anxious to attain peace in the material world, but they do not know the formula for peace, which is explained in this part of the Bhagavad Gita. The greatest peace formula is simply this. Lord Krishna is beneficiary in all human activities. Man should offer everything to the transcendental service of the Lord, and because he is the proprietor of all planets and the demigods thereon. No one is greater than he. He is greater than the greatest of the demigods, Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. In the Vedas, Svetaswara Upanishad 6.7, the Supreme Lord is described as Tam Ishwaranam Paramam Maheshwaram. Under the spell of illusion, living entities are trying to be lords of all they survey, but actually they are dominated by the material energy of the Lord. The Lord is the master of material nature, and the conditioned soul are under the stringent rules of material nature. Unless one understands these bare facts, it is not possible to achieve peace in the world, either individually or collectively. This is the sense of Krishna consciousness. Lord Krishna is the supreme predominator, and all living entities, including the great demigods, are his subordinates. One can attain peace, perfect peace, only in complete Krishna consciousness. This 5th chapter is a practical explanation of Krishna consciousness, generally known as Karma Yoga. The question of mental speculation as to how Karma Yoga can give liberation is answered here with: to work in Krishna consciousness is to work with the complete knowledge of the Lord as the predominator. Such work is not different from transcendental knowledge. Direct Krishna consciousness is Bhakti Yoga, and Gyan Yoga is a path leading to Bhakti Yoga. Krishna consciousness means to work in full knowledge of one's relationship with the Supreme Absolute, and the perfection of this consciousness is full knowledge of Krishna, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A pure soul is the eternal servant of God as his fragmental part and parcel. He comes into contact with Maya, illusion, due to the desire to lord it over Maya, and that in the cause of his many sufferings. As long as he is in contact with matter, he has to execute work in terms of material necessities. Krishna consciousness, however, brings one into spiritual life even while one is within the jurisdiction of matter, for it is an arousing of spiritual existence by practice in the material world. The more one is advanced, the more he is freed from the clutches of matter. The Lord is not partial towards anyone. Everything depends on one's practical performances of duties in Krishna consciousness, which helps one control the senses in every respect and conquer the influence of desire and anger. And one who stands fast in Krishna consciousness, controlling the above-mentioned passions, remains factually in the transcendental stage on Brahma Nirvana. The Eightfold Yoga mysticism is automatically practiced in Krishna consciousness because the ultimate purpose is served. There is a gradual process of elevation in the practice of yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. But these only preface perfection by devotional service, which alone can award peace to the human being. It is the highest perfection of life. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport to the 5th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the matter of Karma Yoga, or action in Krishna consciousness.
Okay, thank you, Krishna. So there's quite a bit here. Prabhupada more or less gives a summary of the whole Krishna conscious philosophy. So just by studying this purport, then you can understand the basic essence of the whole Siddhanta of Krishna consciousness. But any initial questions or comments here? I have a few notes on this I could share. I could start with asking a question, if there's no immediate curiosity here. Krishna here is speaking about peace. Yes, the Prabhupada presents this as a peace formula, you know. So, but this Bhagavad Gita is spoken, as we know, on a battlefield to Arjuna, who is reluctant to fight. And Krishna's urging him to fight. Krishna's not speaking about a negotiation or trying to obtain peace. He's asking Arjuna to fight, to engage in warfare. So why is the word? How can we understand this? It's a bit of a trick question, not too tricky. So why is it mentioned here, attaining peace, when Krishna is urging Arjuna to engage in warfare? Now the two are opposite, peace and war. So someone may challenge you about that. No, there's one Muslim preacher, I won't mention his name, but he often critiques Hinduism for proposing, or often Hindus criticize Muslims for their warfare in spreading Islam, which is there in history. But then he picks up Bhagavad Gita and points to the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So your holy book is just about war. So who are you to professing to be peace? That's a side point, I guess. But any ideas on this? Wait, start you off for a question to you, get you thinking a bit. So the original, why is Krishna speaking about the word for peace is Shanti? Everyone's heard of Shanti before? Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Let there be peace. Again, it's go on, done well. Have a go.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So here, Arjuna is actually very, very bewildered by the situation, and he is not finding peace, like he expressed in the chapter 2, that my hands are burning, my skin is burning, and all of that. Yeah. And he wanted clarity in life. So, I mean, clarity why he should fight. So here, Krishna says that you submit all your activities. I am the benefactor of all sacrifices. You do the war for me. Submit all your activities to me, and this will free you from, because you're doing it for me, it will free you from material entanglement.
Yeah, more or less correct. So it was a bit of a tricky question, because actually what Krishna was speaking about here is internal peace. for Arjuna, because as Dhananjaya said, he is not peaceful, he is bewildered, and he doesn't know what to do. His mind is confused. So Krishna here is explaining how to attain peace from the miseries of which he is facing. Yeah, very good. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Well, Prabhupada's purport, and in studying the purports of the acharyas, Prabhupada is quite unique here in seeing this as a means for world peace. And I think Prabhupada would often critic the United Nations in the fact that there's so many flags, which kind of indicates that the world is very much divided and is not united because there's so many flags. Yeah. So Prabhupada would often ask devotees to write essays on this particular verse in order to promote world peace. Yeah. So any questions or comment? Any other questions or comments here? Few things I could bring out. Krishna, first of all, he's explaining that a yogi, because remember the end of the 5th chapter, Krishna's speaking about principles of Astanga yoga. That was the end of, well, we're still in the end of the 5th chapter, just the previous 2 verses. Yeah. So in this verse, basically he's describing how someone, a yogi who obtains knowledge, I'm just looking at some notes here, they obtain knowledge through the practice of bhakti. So it's not just by merely controlling the mind and senses. One has to engage in yoga. And yoga means, the word yoga means bhakti actually, because it means to link with Krishna. So that yogi who is practicing nishkam karma yoga and then comes to Astanga, the fruits of their meditation and the rewards of their meditation is coming from Krishna. Yeah, that's why here. Let's go to the verse. A person in full consciousness of me. So this is indicating devotion. This is bhakti. Yeah. And also, he mentions, I am the bhaktaryam, the yagna of the karma yogis. So knowing me to be the beneficiary of all acts of sacrifices and austerities. So someone may be doing different sacrifices, the karma yogi, in order to facilitate their material life. But ultimately, he is the ultimate beneficiary. It is all ultimately coming from Krishna. Yeah. And he is, and for the Gyanis, the classic Gyani, they will engage in austerities. Who's going to give them the fruits of their austerity? Is Krishna. Yeah. And he mentions that he is the friend of all living entities. And this friendship is expressed, Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur explains that this friendship, this direction, coming from Krishna, is coming through the via medium of his bhaktas, of his devotees. Yeah. So when it says, and a benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities. Yeah, this is referring to those devotees. And there's a little bit, we're going to read a little section of a lecture that Prabhupada gave on this gave on this verse, and he elaborates on this very important point here, is that here, Suridam Ganatva Suridam Sarvabhutanam, that he is Suridam, he is the benefactor and friend of all living entities. Right, so let me just reshare the screen and we can read this. Stop share. I'm going to share something else. Yeah. Okay, I guess you can see that. Okay, someone like to read this for us? Dhananjay, you could read this for us.
Yes, Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Krishna is always our natural friend. That is stated in Bhagavad Gita. Suhridam sarva bhutanam. Suhridam means suhrit. There are different names in Sanskrit for different kinds of friends. One friend is called bandhu, one is called mitra, and one is called suhrit. So Krishna says, I am suhrit, which means such a friend. A friend sincerely wants your happiness. A suhrit is a real friend, and mitra is a social friendship. Bandhu is official friendship. But suhrit means one actually desires good for his friend, sincere friend. Krishna is suhrit. He is always wishing my good, and he is therefore canvassing me. Please, you surrender unto me. Just like a father says, my dear boy, why are you acting independently? Foolishly, you are suffering. Just surrender unto me. I shall give you protection. Similarly, Krishna is a friend like a father. He is always asking, and he is going with me in every type of body. Even if I get a body of a dog, Krishna is always there with me. Even with cats, dogs, hogs, or any lower type of animal. He has no hesitation. He is so friendly that wherever his friend is going, he is also going there. As Paramatma, he is doing friendly activities. He is sending his bona fide servant as spiritual master. He is coming as incarnations. He is coming as a devotee, Lord Chaitanya. He is helping us in so many ways, but we are so foolish that we are not accepting him. Nobody can be a better friend than Krishna, but we are so much unfortunate, so much captivated by the external energy that we don't accept Krishna as our friend.
Okay, thank you. It's very nice, isn't it? This is what I mean.
Yes, Prabhu.
Suridam Sarvabhutanam. Surit, so a very special friend. I like this where Prabhupada explains that he will go wherever we may go in this world, and trying to give us good intelligence, trying to give us guidance. In chapter 15, he describes that he's giving all knowledge comes from Krishna. That he is directing the wanderings of all living entities. That's also described in Bhagavad Gita. That's what, that was very nice. And this was in 1968, right in the beginning of the Krishna conscious movement. Now, there's a lot we can say about the purport here, but anyone have any points they want to bring out in the purport? If you have it, you can see there. We could go, I remember giving a presentation on this purport. We basically spoke on each sentence. There's quite a bit. But we want, let's see, we're not planning to take, well, we've gone half an hour already. Yeah. In conditioned souls within the clutches of illusory energy are all anxious to attain peace in the material world, but they do not know the formula for peace, which is explained in this part of the Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, the greatest peace formula. That Krishna is the beneficiary of all human activities. Yeah, so this is what Krishna is explaining to Arjuna so far. And Prabhupada also summarizes it in the last paragraph. He says the 5th chapter is a practical explanation of Krishna consciousness, generally known as karma yoga. So our activities have to be done, but they should be done for Krishna. Yeah, whatever we do, yat koroshi, yat ashnashi, that's also mentioned. Do it for Krishna. Yeah. Yeah, Arjuna should work in complete knowledge of Krishna as being the predominator. So we should do our work in that same knowledge. Whether we're we're a computer programmer or whatever we may be doing, we should be conscious of Krishna and doing it as a sacrifice for Krishna. And from that will come, Krishna will be pleased and will give us transcendental knowledge. Yeah. So, okay. Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, I just looked for one more verse similar that I found. It's like in chapter 9, verse 18. It says, I am the goal, the sustainer, the master, the witness, the abode, the refuge, and the most dear friend. I am the creation and annihilation, the basis of everything, the resting place, and the eternal seed.
Yeah, very nice. I was learning this verse a couple of years ago, this one, actually 9:18. I had so much, it was so nice just going over this. Yeah, thank you for bringing that out. Katir Bada Babo Shakshi, so similar to Surit Shakshi, witness. Nivasa Sharanam Surit. So Surit is here again, the most intimate friend. I am the goal, the sustainer, the master, the witness, the abode, the refuge, and the most dear friend. Yeah. I'm sure we've all got dear friends, isn't it? Hopefully. We got our friends. But there is a dearer friend and our dearest friend. He will accompany us life after life. You know? And he's always there giving us. And what type of knowledge is Krishna giving us from within the heart? That's a question.
Transcendental.
No, he's given us that, but he's given us what
how
else?
to detach themselves from this material world.
Yeah, I'm just presenting it more simply, that even the ability to remember which way to go to work in the morning, that's coming from Krishna. Yeah, even to remember our specific relationships that we have with our family members and people in this world, that is coming from Krishna in the form of intelligence. Of course, this is on the material platform. When we engage in devotional service, we get spiritual intelligence, as Mother Chandravati said. And I was listening today as well, Prabhupada, more than one time he mentioned that Krishna is giving intelligence to the householder to make his house very secure. And is giving intelligence to a thief of how to break into the house. And Prabhupada laughs, so Krishna is very busy, then he laughs. So Krishna is giving intelligence to everyone, but yeah, the type of intelligence that he gives the devotee, because they're devoted, he gives the intelligence by which they can come to him personally, and they can be with him personally. So that's very special. So, I hope you don't mind, I'm testing your Bhagavad Gita now. There's a verse in the 10th chapter which exemplifies this. Tesam, anyone can finish it?
Tesam satsatam yuktanam.
Yeah, go on. And the rest of it?
Tesam satsatam yuktanam pajami. Urvakam, I can't remember.
Tesam yuktanam.
Pajit priti urvakam.
Now let's I situate in one who engages in my, let's have a look, the actual translation. One who engages in I give the intelligence by which they
can come to me.
Yeah. This comes in we're getting quite technical here, but this is the Chatur Sloki of the Bhagavad Gita. Most important verses this comes from. Yeah.
To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understand by which they can come to me.
Yeah, that's it. Yes.
Prabhu, I can think of another verse which is like very, very similar to what we discussed. Chapter 15, verse 15.
Yeah, that's the verse I was paraphrasing, quoting. Yeah, that's
yeah. So
and
From him comes intelligence. Mata smritir gnanamapohanancha.
Yeah. So what does Krishna mean in that verse 15:15? What does Krishna mean by saying that he gives forgetfulness?
If you want to forget about Krishna, Krishna will give you the intelligence to forget about him.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, in other words, in order to, as it said in this purple in that we're reading today, in order to lord it over the world, in order to try and enjoy separately from Krishna, you have to be covered. Your original consciousness, pure consciousness, has to be covered. So therefore, Krishna franklessly gives us that ability to try and enjoy without him.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, can I just mention something? I
Yes.
felt in this words, Krishna really explains that. In other words, he says, "I will not take your free will away, because you whatever you want to do." That's why he's saying forgetfulness. This is something to do with the free will.
You could say that. I mean, you could say that.
Indirect.
Yeah. Just to say that again. How did you connect up? Krishna's not.
Because if we don't want it, so that is free will. Krishna is not forcing.
Oh, with you. Okay, yeah, that's correct. Yeah, and as we know, there's another verse as well in the Bhagavad Gita where Krishna says, "Now I have instructed you this knowledge. Now you do what you wish to do."
Yeah.
But you should know, if you don't do what I'm telling you, you're going to be lost. Yeah, he says that in the verse before. So anyway, Hare Krishna, we're going all over. We have some Bhagavad Gita scholars here, so we're going all different directions. Okay. So again, let's read the translation to this verse. A person in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities, Supreme Lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attains peace from the pangs of material miseries. Okay, let me just finish my notes here, then we could go on to chapter 6. Yeah, Krishna.
I had one question with this verse.
Yeah.
I couldn't understand difference between Bhoktaram and Suhridam.
You can't.
Beneficiary and benefactor.
Yeah. You can, anyone can explain this? Beneficiary, what's the difference? Let's have a look at the translation. Not the meaning. A person who derives advantage from something. Beneficiary, especially a trust or will or life insurance. Yeah. That's beneficiary. So
yeah, I think a beneficiary is the person who receives.
That's right.
Yeah.
And the benefactor is the one who
gives.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. So beneficiary is someone who receives, and benefactor is someone who gives. So he's the ultimate beneficiary. So he rewards all sacrifices of the Gyanis, as I said, and of the yogis and all austerities. It's him who's giving them the result of their tapasya or their yagna. Yeah. So he's a benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities. And we gave that nice quoted from Prabhupada. So yeah, once we know that Krishna, if we really know that Krishna is our friend, then we'll be peaceful. There'll be no stress, there'll be no anxiety. We know that Krishna is on our side. Yeah. But often we become forgetful, we get entangled in the modes of material nature, and that consciousness may not be in the forefront of our consciousness. And we're trying to act without Krishna's sanction or without Krishna's blessings, But here's the peace formula. Ganatva smam santim brichati. Okay, Hare Krishna. That's 529. Any more last calls on this verse in purple before we go on? Going once, going twice, going 3 times. Hare Krishna. And
Hare
here,
Krishna, Prabhu. Oh,
oh,
sorry.
nearly made it.
Prabhu, I don't know whether you would remember this. Long time ago when the Iraq war happened, and there was an article in Back to Godhead magazine. We're really talking about it, and that is how they started a recite, especially this verse. And because they were doing the war, it is they started reading the Bhagavad Gita, quoting this one. There was a beautiful article. I think Satyaraj Prabhu maybe wrote this article long time ago. It was when the Iraq war started.
Okay, can you remember specifically how he said this will be practical, how this practically explains peace to someone?
Because if you think, oh, I'm going for I'm going to kill somebody, I'm not doing for my own sake, I'm not going to the war for my benefit, because I'm working under it. Is like how Lord is saying to Arjuna, you fight, think of me and fight, because your intention is not to kill the person, that's you're doing a duty.
Yeah. Okay, I think yeah, there's a bit here as well, like that Krishna is similar to what he's saying. Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. So instead of worrying about so Arjuna should stop worrying about what will be less
I'm killing
enjoyable for him.
My satisfaction, I don't like it, I don't want to do it, it's all about I then. So like that, if the soldiers does, then that means they will be always thinking, oh my God, what did I do? Why did I kill this man? How am I going to kill again and again, like that? So they won't be able to fight properly.
Correct. So therefore, the focus that Arjuna should focus on doing what is pleasing to Krishna, because he is the supreme enjoyer. Yeah. And also, Krishna is the supreme proprietor. So instead of worrying, so in reference to Arjuna, so instead of worrying who will have the kingdom, actually everything belongs to Krishna, who will gain dominion over the Kuru kingdom, and at what price. Yeah. So instead, Arjuna should concentrate on fighting on behalf of Krishna. So in other words, and returning the kingdom to the original proprietor. Is Krishna.
Yeah.
Prabhupada would often bring this up because there's many countries are fighting with each other, isn't it? In the world at any time, it's always going on, because they're all claiming proprietorship over something which actually belongs to Krishna. So again, Krishna is the supreme benefactor. Instead of worrying whether fighting or not fighting will serve the greater good, Arjuna can simply seek to do Krishna's will.
Yeah.
Because he's the ultimate benefactor. He is going to, if you do what he's saying, everything's going to be all right. Okay? All right, let's go into chapter 6. Here we go. Dhyana Yoga. So this is talking about Ashtanga Yoga. And yeah, let's get into it. But it won't, in the first 2 verses, the first verses are just finishing off still from chapter 5. You will see. So if someone could read this, Dhananjay, you have your hand there, you can read 6:1.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Chapter 6, Dhyana Yoga. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Anashrita Karma Phalam Karyam Karma Karoti Yah Sasanyasi Cha Yogi Cha Na Niragnirna Cha Kriya. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, one who is unattached to the fruits of his work, and one who works as he is obligated in his renounced order of life, in the renounced order of life, and he is the true mystic, not he who lights no fire and performs no duty. In this chapter, the Lord explains that the process of the Eightfold Yoga system is a means to control the mind and the senses. However, this is very difficult for people in general to perform, especially in the age of Kali. Although the Eightfold Yoga system is recommended in this chapter, the Lord emphasizes that the process of Karma Yoga or acting in Krishna consciousness is better. Everyone acts in this world to maintain his family and their paraphernalia, but no one is working without some self-interest, some personal gratification, be it concentrated or extended. The criterion of perfection is to act in Krishna consciousness and not with a view to enjoying the fruits of work. To act in Krishna consciousness is the duty of every living entity because all are constitutionally parts and parcels of the Supreme. The parts of the body for work, the parts of the body work for the satisfaction of the whole body. The limbs of body do not act for self-satisfaction, but for the satisfaction of the complete whole. Similarly, the living entity who acts for the satisfaction of Supreme Whole and not for the personal satisfaction is the perfect sannyasi, the perfect yogi. The sannyasis sometimes artificially think that they have become liberated from all material duties and therefore they cease to perform Agnihotra Yagyas, fire sacrifices. But actually, they are self-interested because their goal is to become one with the impersonal Brahman. Such a desire is greater than any material desire, but it is not without self-interest. Similarly, the mystic yogi who practices the yoga system with half open eyes, ceasing all material activities, desires some satisfaction for his personal self. But a person acting in Krishna consciousness works for the satisfaction of the whole without self-interest. A Krishna conscious person has no desire for self-satisfaction. His criterion of success is the satisfaction of Krishna, and thus he is the perfect sannyasi or perfect yogi. Lord Chaitanya, the highest perfectional symbol of renunciation, prays in this way: Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam va jagadisha kamaye, mama janmani janmanishware, bhavatad bhaktair ahetuki tvai. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor to enjoy beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. What I want is the causeless mercy of your devotional service in my life, birth after birth.
Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare
So
Krishna.
this is the third time that Krishna's emphasizing this point here, yeah, of not giving up work. Yeah, that's why he says here, it says, he is the true mystic who works as he is obligated. And gives the fruits to Krishna. That is real renunciation. Yeah, not one who gives up. He's referring to here one who lights no fire. So this is referring to the sannyasis, or no, actually to the brahmanas. Yeah, one of their prescribed duties is Agnihotra. I think Papa mentioned that in the purple as well. Yeah. Agnihotra, yeah, he mentioned Agnihotra Yagnas. That's one of their daily rituals that they will do. Yeah. So just reading some notes here. Krishna is again explaining that one who is unadvanced thinks I have knowledge I don't have to perform any duty. But rather, actually, what Krishna is saying here for the third time, which this is the theme of Bhagavad Gita, that an advanced devotee does their duty, but with, what's the next word?
Detachment.
Yeah.
Detachment, yeah.
And why are they detached?
Because they are attached to Krishna, they automatically become detached.
Yeah, but
material
more
dimension.
bridge to that understanding. They are detached because because they don't desire the fruits of their work. So they're not miserly and they're not attached. They're just doing it out of a sense of duty. So it's quite a interesting work ethic, to think how the mood that Arjuna is doing his work as a Kshatriya. Yeah, he is not attached. Krishna tell him not to be attached to the results, because he should do it for Krishna. So therefore, there's a natural detachment that comes. Now it's interesting. It doesn't mean that Arjuna should make no effort to win the war. No. I just came across a quote the other day. I might be able to find it now. One should, and I think someone quoted it as well. Someone might remember. One should work as if everything. What is that? Let me see. One should work in such a way as if everything depends upon them, but ultimately everything depends upon Krishna. Let me see if I can find that. Anyone know that quote? Okay, here it is. This is from Bhagavatam 1.8.37. The highest achievement of perfect civilization is to work with valor, but at the same time depend completely on the Lord. Repeat that again. The highest achievement of perfect civilization is to work with valor, but at the same time depend completely on the Lord. Yeah. So Arjuna has been encouraged to work in this spirit, to fight in this spirit, but not be attached to the result. Yeah. And also here, Krishna repeats this point just before describing yet. So he's going to describe Ashtanga Yoga. So he's repeating the same point. Why? So that we don't become confused. Yeah. So in other words, although Ashtanga Yogis, they go to the forest after renouncing their duties. Krishna wants to make it clear to the Ashtanga Yogis, like the Nishkam Karma Yogis, one must first perform detached work before they're advanced enough to renounce the world. That will purify their heart. Arjuna is not ready to renounce. At some point, Arjuna will renounce the world, but not now. Now's not the time to renounce his duty. That will come later. As you know, it came for all the Pandavas. Yeah. So first engage your propensities in the mood of detachment, Nishkam Karma Yoga. Yeah. Now, any other questions or comments here on this verse in purple? Just looking here. Yeah, so we can try to implement this next time when you go to work or you're endeavoring to maintain your situation. We're doing it as a sacrifice for Krishna. We're doing it out of, and we're doing it for Krishna. Proper, the parts of the body work for the satisfaction of the whole body. Yeah, and that's perfect. That's a perfect sannyasi. Yeah. Not someone who lights no fire and performs no duty. The person is a perfect sannyasi if they do their duties for Krishna. So no need to don saffron cloth and take danda. You can still put your clothes in a washing machine and hang them out and cook for grandchildren. And you can be a great sannyasi. You're doing it for Krishna. Yeah. All right. Hare Krishna. Any other questions, comments here? All right, let's read this one as well, because these first two verses are introduction. So
I was thinking, Prabhupada says, like, there's two people going shopping, right? One is doing shopping for Krishna's things, and one's doing shopping for their sense gratification. It's like that. You can, like, you know, it's an internal realization, isn't it?
yeah, that's it. And it practically manifests, for instance, when you shop, okay, you're shopping for Krishna, but that will practically manifest when you offer what you've cooked to Krishna.
Mm.
Yeah, it's not just a mental thing. You have to actually practical, you know, all right, this is all for Krishna. I'm shopping for Krishna. Then you cook something and you don't offer it to him. It means you're not shopping for Krishna. You're shopping for your own self. Yeah. So when you shop, before you eat it, you put it in front of the picture, ring the bell, and with devotion, offer it to Krishna. Then that makes everything complete. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was more thinking, like, externally you can see, like we learned about Kanishta Adhikari, Uttama Adhikari, like that. Externally you see them doing the same things, but they're different within. They're different, you know. Their actions are different. Their feelings are different. So it's like that. You can see two devotees, two people externally. You can see them doing, you know, noble duties, but internally they're detached. Some are detached more according to their practice.
Yeah, it's a good point here, because Krishna's making the distinction here. Okay, we've accepted the fact that the real renunciate is one who's renounced on the fruits of their activities. So that means it may be hard to distinguish between the materialist and the devotee, because they're both in the workplace and they're both getting paid at the end of the month. Hopefully, you know, and they're both maintaining the family. They may be, yeah. So what's the difference? Okay, the difference is that one's doing it on behalf of Krishna. One's doing it as a sacrifice for Krishna. Yes, Krishna.
Prabhu, I was thinking, whole philosophy, whole Krishna consciousness, it's all about attachment to the Lord. It's not just being detached. So just
yeah, that's a good point to bring up. I mean, we speak of detachment, but as a natural consequence of offering things to Krishna. So when we speak about detachment, it should be understood that it's in context. That detachment arises from doing one's duty for Krishna's pleasure. Yeah, but good to remind us, that's real detachment. So we become attached to, like Arjuna should be attached to following Krishna's direction, which is to be Krishna's telling them to be detached, not be attached to the fruits. You know, just do your duty. Don't be attached to the fruits of your work. You know. Anyway, so this is the third time Krishna so far is giving this instruction to Arjuna. You know? And so perhaps it's 58, so we won't read the next verse. We won't read the purple. Just want to have a quick look at the verse. We can read the verse. So it says, what is called renunciation what is called renunciation, you should know to be the same as yoga. It's exactly, Mother Padma Mataji, this is exactly what I was just saying here. What is called renunciation, you should know to be the same as yoga, or linking with the Supreme. Exactly what I was just saying. You understand? So by linking to Krishna, then that manifests as renunciation. O son of Pandu, for one can never become a yogi unless he renounces the desire for sense gratification. Yeah. All right.
So here we can bring up desires. We're always going to have desires. But yet Krishna is saying we have to give up sense gratification. So we have to have desires for serving Krishna and his devotees.
Yeah, that's what we want to come to. Yeah. We are motivated by the desire to enjoy the tongue, genitals, or maybe, but eventually our whole consciousness should be just like the residents of the spiritual world, where they desire to give Krishna happiness and to serve Krishna. So we don't annihilate desire. You can try, it's impossible. Yeah, except we desire for Krishna. Yeah. All right, let's pause there. Press the pause button, and we'll continue tomorrow. And we'll continue tomorrow, and let's see what valuable lessons we can learn. Just let's just ask anyone anything specifically you're going to take away from today's discussion.
There's no peace in the material world. Only peace is in Krishna consciousness.
Yeah. Real peace is coming from consciousness of Krishna. Yeah. Okay. Hare Krishna. All right. Let's stop there, and please join us tomorrow, and we'll continue. Bhagavad Gita fans, please continue. Hare Krishna. Please join us.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.